Alright, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Real Madrid Hub again, because I've been out for a while. I've been out for 3 days. I had my baby, right? That is the explanation why I've been out. And we were in the hospital for 3-4 days. So it was completely impossible for me to upload any video, any update to y'all, guys. I have been missing y'all, but sometimes, even when we want to make it, it's impossible, and sometimes it's better to take a break and say, okay, I will do it later or so, because otherwise you are stressed, right? You're stressed out, you're all the time thinking about it, you cannot concentrate in the things you have to concentrate, and it's even more difficult, right? Even with all this news happening over the week, it was kind of frustrating not to be able to show up in the camera and tell you something, guys. I'm so sorry, but I think that excuse was big enough for me to say, okay, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna do my thing, I'm gonna do what I have to do, what I'm supposed to do, right? And then another day I will be able to upload a video telling you guys what is pretty much the same, right? Nothing has changed, and everything remains in the same line right now. So, for example, I'm going to talk about Eden Hazard. I'm going to talk about Jude Bellingham, and of course, I'm going to talk about Kylian Mbappe. But it's pretty much the same. Nothing changes. In these days, it's impossible. All the things that were supposed to happen have happened already, and all the things that hadn't happened already is because they don't have to happen. It is something that we have to wait for, right? And there's no any clear future for any of these players, including Jude Bellingham, and I'm going to tell you why. So right now, for example, let me get started with Jude Bellingham, and so last update we have from F.Romano is this. Sometimes Jude Bellingham is closer to Real Madrid, other times is closer to Liverpool, right? So, but no, there's no club right now super close to sign the player. In spite of all the statements, in spite of all the things we have been learning from Jose Felix Diaz and other journalists in Spain, telling us that the player is super close to sign for Real Madrid. It's very difficult. It's more difficult than ever before. It's more difficult than the people think. So we still have to wait a little bit more news regarding to Jude Bellingham, and it's not quite sure he's going to join Real Madrid. So to me, the sensation that I have with this guy is something like the Kylian Mbappe's drama is going on right now with Jude Bellingham again, because the player doesn't really know. All the information you gather from Spanish journalists is the same thing. The player wants to play for Real Madrid, the player wants to join Real Madrid, the player really loves Real Madrid and all this stuff. But then you read something about the player from UK, from Fabrizio Romano, from other outlets in the UK, in the English world, right? And what you hear, it's something completely different. Like, no, the player is not quite sure about where he should be playing, right? So right now, the latest update I have for you all guys from Fabrizio Romano is in caught offside, and he said sometimes it's closer to Real Madrid, sometimes it's closer to Liverpool, and sometimes it's even closer to Chelsea. So nothing can be said so far. Nothing can be said yet. So we will have to wait a little bit and see what happens, because nobody really knows what's going to happen. Real Madrid has been doing all this job, right, trying to sign the player, but it's not quite sure. It's not quite sure it's going to happen. So we will have to wait a little bit, right? That is as far as Jude Bellingham and Real Madrid. And now we have news regarding to Eden Hazard in Al Nassr, because apparently Al Nassr wants to bring over Eden Hazard this summer, right? That'd be awesome, because right now Real Madrid, as far as Eden Hazard, nobody within Real Madrid really interested in keeping the guy. Eden Hazard really wants to play for Real Madrid, but it's impossible considering all the things that are happening, and especially since the day from Cacereño, right? It was a game for him. He was in the lineup and he didn't even do any single kind of thing. You say, okay, this guy is going to change. Something is going to change with Eden Hazard. Maybe we should trust in him a little bit more. No, nothing is going to happen. A lot of criticism, a lot of people blasting him, a lot of people walking over him all the time in outlets, media, newspapers. So right now, the 100% of the Madridismo agrees the player has to leave and right quick. I mean, there's no Madridista in the world right now who really thinks Hazard should stay in Madrid, and he really knows. He pretty much knows everything about that. And of course, he's not leaving in January. That is something he said in December to that interview to Mario Cortegana. So I'm quite sure he's not going to leave right now, but in summer it's a different story. The thing is, the player will not end his contract and will wait a little bit to summer to find out new offers coming out or coming up to him, and Real Madrid will wait for new offers or decent offers, because we cannot expect to make much money out of Eden Hazard, right? So we will have to say, okay, we have to sell this guy, we have to get rid of this guy, because the most important right now is the salary, right? We have to get rid of the salary out of our books and do not maintain this guy anymore, as if we want to save money, we cannot maintain this guy in the books, in the squad, and we have to get rid of him right quick. So that is another very important thing. And then, as far as Kylian Mbappe, I mean, I know that you guys love to hear from, not from Kylian Mbappe, but I know that you guys want to hear, right, about Kylian Mbappe. But there's not much going on right now. The most important is the other day, PSG, I mean, the players made a kind of guard of honor, right, to Leo Messi when he came back, just to celebrate his World Cup trophy. And Kylian Mbappe wasn't there, right? Some people are arguing, some people are kind of speculating with the possibility Kylian Mbappe decided to make a trip, right, to Paris, to New York, just because, I mean, to skip that guard of honor or whatever, because the relationship is not quite good, right? So I don't know what's going to happen, man, but these guys apparently are not having the best relationship right now, and a lot of people are speculating right now in France. There are a lot of people talking about Kylian Mbappe and his possible exit from Paris Saint-Germain this season. He won't wait any longer, and this season, this year, will be the year for Kylian Mbappe to leave Paris Saint-Germain and go to play in Real Madrid. Of course, along with Kylian Mbappe, they're talking about and rumoring about Ashraf Hakimi, but this player has a little bit more difficulties to come over to Real Madrid, because Real Madrid right now is considering to Lucas Vazquez as a right back, and there's no plan to reinforce or boost the right back. So we will have to wait a little bit, but my opinion is no. Ashraf is not close to Real Madrid or nothing similar, okay? So, Mbappe, well, I think that I've been telling y'all guys the most important thing, and the only thing that is really relevant here, it is if Kylian Mbappe steps ahead and say, hey, I just want to play for Real Madrid, or make the call to Real Madrid saying, hey, it's very important for me, it's a very important moment for me, I just really want out from PSG and I really want to play with you guys, making the call to Real Madrid, then Real Madrid will think about that, will consider him for next year. But otherwise, if he's waiting for us to do something, we're not going to wait to do, we're not going to do anything. We won't wait and do anything. We're not waiting for the right moment to sign Kylian Mbappe. We're not waiting even for him, right? Right now, Real Madrid is planning ahead everything, and we are not expecting anything from him. If happens, right, if something happens, we might consider it, right? But it's not kind of like, okay, I'm gonna see this guy because I think that he's having problems right now in PSG. It's not just that, and it's not that the way the things work or the way the Florentino's mind is working right now. No, it's a different story. Right now, Florentino Perez is saying, okay, I might consider this guy if he really wants to play for Real Madrid and make the call to me, or say something, or have a public gesture, like saying, I want out from Paris Saint-Germain. I just don't want to keep playing here, right? If he does something like that, then I might say, okay, something can happen, right? but otherwise it's got to be impossible. So just for you guys to keep in mind, it's not going to be easy at all, and we are all waiting for Kylian Mbappe to come and play for Real Madrid, but it is not so easy. We will have to wait for him, I mean, because he's the responsible for his future, right? If you really want to play for Real Madrid, you have to do something, and you have to step ahead and say, okay, now is the time for me to do something and prove everybody, right? And prove everybody that I really want to play for Real Madrid. That's it. There's no other way around. There's no other way to go, and we all have to keep in mind this is going to happen. So let's see. We will have to wait a little bit, and let's see what happens with Kylian Mbappe. But to me, the drama is just begun, right? It's nothing like, okay, this is done. No, I'm gonna show you guys really quick all the the footage and the pictures from Kylian Mbappe in New York, completely covered in disguise with Achraf Hakimi, just enjoying some amusements there up there in New York with all these cool. There you go. Here you have him. Yeah. These guys here, Achraf and Mbappe, both of them. Meanwhile, in Paris, they were doing the kind of guard of honor to Leo Messi without them. As you see, yeah. This is the guard of honor I'm talking about. 50 million plays so far. Just amazing. So, yeah. Just to recap a little bit, guys. Wait patiently. We are going to try as long as he wants to play for Real Madrid, and that's it. Do not wait anything. That's the most important thing, the best advice you can ever have, right? But something is going to happen. I'm pretty sure we will hear about him and other stuff. I'm pretty sure of that.